What's going on, my friends? Cubs fan Han here for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And my friends, today we're going to talk a little bit more about that pesky little Hyperdrive bundle. Now, as I talk about this, I want to be clear. I think that there are positives and negatives to this. And as I've actually experienced this, I've really grown fond of what this player experience is like for those who get it. For those who don't get it, we got to talk about that, though, because there's some serious drawbacks, and it's seriously game-breaking right now. And I think some changes are needed ASAP to help players survive that are free to play. I think it is very healthy for this game to have the Hyperdrive bundle, but I also think it's very healthy for this game to have a lot of free-to-play players coming to it. And right now, I think that is seriously threatened by Hyperdrive. So it's good for pay-to-play players, very bad for free-to-play, and we'll talk about some solutions and where I think that rub exists. Now, I also want to show you guys... As I was perusing through Reddit this morning, and as I was perusing through it, I saw some really funny posts. I just want to highlight them before we get into this because I just think this is so funny. Look at this. We talked about the new Poe and how he looks like Indiana Jones. Somebody said that in the comment section. We've got the meme, guys, all right? The meme is here for you. Indiana Poe. If only, the only thing I wish they did is if they could have just photoshopped the hat on top of his head. It would have made it so much better, right? All right, and then there's also this one here. This is amazing. Look at the Photoshop quality here is actually really good. Whoever worked on this, they got the text just right. They got the effects just right. They made it, I mean... Obviously, this looks like an actual picture of Mark Hamill, not necessarily an animation, but they made it really look like he blends into the image. Look, 10 out of 10 on the Photoshop. I think this is, let's see, Ryan Walker, if that's you that did that. Here, take my upvote right now. On the video, you get the upvote. I think that's really funny. What would have been really funny is if in the abilities, it was just like instantly defeat all enemies. He actually kind of... had a couple interesting kid ideas, and then the what takes the cake is Bikini Leia is one of the characters. Could you guys imagine if we got Bikini Leia in this game? I'd just be like, take my money! Take my money! I do not care. I will take it. All right. So let's talk about the Hyperdrive bundle account. Here's my account right now. I did ask for some allies, and I'm getting a lot of those coming in. I'm gonna accept them. I'll show you guys my ally code here. If you want to ally request me, I'm gonna accept those just to fill it up so I can you know, get lots of help. And so I'm sure I'll get spam with a bazillion ally requests after this, and that's okay. I need a lot of help getting through this. I did get to rank number 1 here. That's great. You know, I've obviously got the Gear 12 Bastila, still struggling a bit on Revan. I prioritized Bastila, gonna be prioritizing Revan next, and Yoda, he's big. I noticed Yoda in the beginning game, just a huge damage dealer. Man, I ran into some Gear 11 Yodas that are just lighting me up. And Jolie, of course, at Gear 12, and Anakin is kind of a no-brainer there. So that's where I'm at. Fleet, so I spent crystals to refresh my arena because I was a little impatient, wanted to get up there to number 1. I'll be honest, I spent crystals a little too quick on this. I was like, let's go right now. But the fleet, I haven't been spending crystals. I'm in arena, by the way, I started about rank 14,000. Fleet was at like 5,000, 6,000, somewhere around there. And so that one's taking quite a bit longer to get to the top. I'm not spending any crystal refreshes there. That's why that one's taking a while. But I am not going to make the mistake, ladies and gentlemen, of neglecting my fleet on this account. So anyway, so let's talk about it. So right now, here's a big reason why I think the Hyperdrive bundle has just been a lot of fun. We'll talk about the positives and then negatives and how to fix it. There's just so much to work with here. Like instantly, I think one of the most exciting, fun parts about this game is Grand Arena. I'm going to be able to compete in that right away. It takes so long to be able to do Grand Arena in this game. If you just start an account fresh. And so maybe that's okay. You know, maybe if you've never played this game, maybe that wouldn't be a big deal to you. But for existing players who are starting a second account, which by the way, my entire arena shard, which I'm in touch with already, I think all of us are like that. Literally everyone has a main account. There's a lot of appeal there for players like that, and you know, you're gonna want to have that Grand Arena. You got all of these teams you can work with. It'll be a bit different The mods will be a bit tricky, and farming mods from scratch is an experience that I am enjoying right now. But it's still really fun. And then if you look at kind of getting into some of the negatives here, and we'll talk about how I think this should be fixed. Let's just look at my top 50 and see how many of these are Hyperdrive bundle accounts. You can see here, every single one is a Hyperdrive bundle account. All of them. Every single one in the top 50. And that's my shard. To give you a scope of this, the only one, my webcam is in the way, so there you go. This guy right here, he's the only one I think that didn't buy it in the top 50, and this guy, bless his heart, he's wailing his brains out. He probably should have bought it. You can see he's got some, he's level 64, and he's in our shard. So how did he do that? I mean, my gosh, I think this guy's an uber whale. Just like going nuts if he's already level 64, unless he hoarded resources and then jumped in our shard. But look at the characters. He didn't buy the Hyperdrive bundle. I mean, this guy's, if he is level 64 and he started when we did, you know, wow, he's going hard. So anyway, he's rank 1 in fleet though. Look at that. So anyway, with all of those people, Hyperdrive bundle accounts, that's just the top 50, only one person not there, but he also kind of looks like he's wailing, unless he hoarded and then waited to join an arena shard. And then how many beyond that? So for those here, it is a whale's paradise. So here's the bottom line. Here's how I think this needs to be addressed, because right now, if you don't spend on the Hyperdrive bundle, there's nothing you can do in arena. Here's a point I want to make, however. When I started this game as a free-to-play player, I looked at the arena as a new player, and I didn't even dream of taking first in the arena. I just knew I just wasn't going to get there. I was content with being between like 500 and 100 when I first started this game, because when you first start, even without the Hyperdrive bundle, it was a whale's paradise as it was, because they were getting to level 85 faster. Right when I started, it was level 70 or 60, I think even. And they had more of the characters, they had the gear. It took a while to catch up. Ultimately, when you were able to catch up, it was just about having 5 characters that were there. And for me, the first time I was able to really catch up was when I got General Kenobi, which was about a year and a half, I think, or so into my plane. I started at launch, so however long the heroic tank raid took to land, and then another several months after that until I unlocked him. So what the Hyperdrive bundle has changed really is not a ton from the perspective of it's still a whale's paradise in the top of the arena in the beginning game. What it definitely changes is how long it will take for free-to-play to close that gap. And so for free-to-play players to get to a point where they're able to compete with the whales in their arena shards is now a insurmountable gap to undertake. Probably going to take 2-3 years. Year and a half, 2 years, somewhere around there. I'm actually really curious to see Arnold. I know he's doing a totally free-to-play account, bless his heart. And, you know, from the beginning with the Hyperdrive bundles there, I'm curious how long it will take him to catch up. So, how do we fix this? I am not opposed to Arena being a whale game mode. It's kind of been like that, at least at the very beginning game. Where this really affects the free-to-play players is right here. The crystal reward. Even for, like, even just getting 75 crystals and above, getting in the top 200 or 100 and above, getting in the top 100 is going to be challenging for free-to-play players. And so, there's the play style of playing Arena. I think it's fun to take the top spots, but the game's kind of moving away from this anyway. And so from where I sit, I really like the Hyperdrive bundle from an individual perspective. I am enjoying this account a lot. It's making me really happy. I'm not going to lie. I'm really glad I did this. But for the free-to-play players, this issue... And oh, by the way, before I get into that, this is also an issue for Fleet as well, because Fleet is going to be a whale's paradise also. And so for Fleet Arena and Squad Arena, a big way we can mitigate this issue is to expand where crystals are available in this game for free-to-play players. We know whales are going to have more access to crystals. I mean, if you were whale, the 500 crystals you get from Arena, 400 crystals from Fleet, 900 crystals a day, that's nothing compared to the vaults that you guys are probably buying on a daily basis. Like, we know these crystals are flowing for the whales. But for free-to-play, it's about stuff. It's not about competing with the whales. It's about, can I afford my refreshes every day? Can I afford my cantina refreshes every day? Can I afford to spend crystals where I should be able to farm at the pace that I need to? And so if we can accept that Squad Arena is going to be a whale zone for the first year or two of this game, but there is more availability of crystals for free-to-play players in areas like, say, Grand Arena, where you're competing with your people. You're not going to be competing against Hyperdrive bundle accounts as a new free-to-play player in Grand Arena. There's more availability there. And something else I think would even be cool is, what if those crystals, what if we make those crystals only available sub-level 85? Up until you get to level 85, you have availability, more access to crystals that you could have gotten Squad Arena, something along those lines. Now, I'm just spitballing here. I know that these solutions aren't necessarily perfect, but what this comes down to for me is, right now, Squad Arena, I kind of always accepted when I'm free to play. It's going to take me a while to catch up. The whales are going to get to level 85 way before me. I'm not going to be able to get to the top of the arena anyway. It's that crystal income that you're missing out on now with the Hyperdrive bundle as a free-to-play player that matters more than anything. And so to me, if CG can find a way to expand where those crystals are available, we will not only have a great pack for players who are willing to pay, but we will also have a better free-to-play experience so that free-to-play players can farm at the pace that they should be able to, and that right now they are stifled from reaching because of the Hyperdrive bundle. Anyway, let me know, my friends, what you guys think about this. I'm interested to hear other solutions that you guys may have. At the end of the day, this is a big issue. There's pros and cons to this, but I want the game to be healthy both for pay-to-play players and free-to-play players, and so I'm really concerned about this issue. I think it's a big deal for the beginning of this game, and so let me know down in the comments what are some other solutions. I'll send them over to CG. I don't think they listen to me, but I'll send them anyway because I think this is really important. I'm going to do my best to, throw it into the abyss and hope that it lands on not deaf ears, if possible. So, anyway, I'm going to be coming out with a guide here soon as well. For those of you who did buy the Hyperdrive bundle, where do you go next? That's going to be coming up here soon. I have got several things that I have learned, a lot of things that I would not have known. I would never have had the idea to talk about if I hadn't actually experienced it. So I'm really glad that I'm going through this with some of you. And there's a lot of you. I mean, geez, my shard just started a few days ago. It was like, last week, and there's already 50 people in here that have the Hyperdrive bundle. It's crazy. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Really important feedback that I'm going to be looking for from you guys. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,